Health experts in the United States believe the resurgence of the COVID-19 virus in Beijing and the U.S. states of Florida, Arizona, Texas, and the Carolinas may be 10 times higher than is being reported. And there is growing opinion around the world that this virus, the thousands of deaths it has caused, and the loss of millions of jobs is the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP. Reports also suggest that the CCP lied about the origin of the virus and covered it up, depriving countries time to prepare and thus allowing the virus to become a global pandemic killer. This is confirmed by Dr. Li Mengyang, the Chinese virologist who recently fled from Hong Kong and whose research focused on coronavirus 19.
There are many patients that don't get treatment on time and diagnosis on time. There is no protection for both doctors and the patient and common people. And also, the government doesn't allow people to release such information. Hospital doctors are scared, but they cannot talk. CDC staffs are scared. I feel very disappointed, but I already know this would happen because I know the corruption among this kind of international organization like WHO to China government, to China Communist Party government. I deliver the message of the truth of COVID-19. If I tell it in Hong Kong, the moment I start to tell it, I will be disappeared and killed. No one can hear me.
But according to Fox News, the CCP's negative impacts on the world extend far beyond just the virus. News reports reveal how CCP operatives are infiltrating America's infrastructure to steal its technology and weaken U.S. values. In a recent speech, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo warned U.S. governors to guard against the spread of the CCP's lies and harmful ideology into local governments, universities, military bases, and even the United Nations.
China has targeted K-12 schools through its Confucius classrooms, the CCP's program, to influence kids in elementary, middle, and high schools around the world. As of 2017, there were 519 of these classrooms in the United States. Beijing knows that today's kids are tomorrow's leaders. The China competition is happening. It's happening in your states, and it's a competition that goes to the very basic freedoms that every one of us values.
And apparently, the warnings are starting to work. According to Inside Higher Ed News, at least 10 U.S. universities have announced plans to shut down their Chinese-funded Centers for Language and Cultural Education. Additional campuses are expected to do the same. Pushback against the CCP is not just happening in the United States. Ongoing reports by the Epoch Times have enabled the world to watch as Great Britain and other countries strongly object to China's attempts to usurp the promised freedoms of Hong Kong residents. A promise that would have allowed Hong Kong to continue governing itself independently from China through 2047.
就而家直接指揮緊香港警察嘅應該唔係林鄭月娥。咁我相信就係呢個所謂政法委啦、國安公安嘅系統指揮緊香港警察，所以先至會咧係用一種更暴力、更兇狠嘅方式去鎮壓呢個香港嘅示威。
We've carefully assessed the legislation, and in particular, we've considered its impact on the rights, freedoms, and critically, the high degree of autonomy bestowed on Hong Kong under China's basic law for Hong Kong, as well as under the Joint Declaration, which, as the House will know, is the treaty agreed between China and the UK in 1984.
Instead, the CCP just passed a law that prevents the peaceful and courageous Hong Kong residents from engaging in, quote, treason, secession, sedition, and subversion. That law made Hong Kong another province of the dangerous CCP regime, a regime whose leadership has long been suspected of initiating cyber attacks and the theft of intellectual properties from successful countries around the world. A regime that wants you to believe is benevolent via their assistance in building roads and other infrastructure, but whose leaders are really attempting to enslave developing countries by swallowing up their resources and keeping them in debt to the CCP. The ultimate objective of China's Huawei and 5G is not to benefit the world, but to facilitate the CCP's spying. In June, the Global Service Center for Quitting the CCP, or the Tui Dang Center, is asking the public to get involved by signing a petition to end the Chinese Party's infiltration of their lives and freedom.
中共邪党的邪恶本质，它不仅仅是祸害中国人，同时也祸害全世界的人。
Condemn the CCP for its crimes against humanity. Demand that your government begin investigations into CCP subversion within your country, and hold the CCP responsible for the damage it has caused both financially and to people's lives lost around the world. For more information, visit endccp.com.